And at Trenton, New Jersey, the midget racing fraternity tickles the speed watcher in the world's first 250-mile national championship race. The midgets are racing for king-size prizes as the largest purse in midget history, $12,000 plus lap money, is being offered. Mechanics are busily priming the Offenhauser engines for the beating they'll absorb in the torturous 250-mile race. Equally as important as the engines are the tires. Within the course of the race, some cars will use as many as 3 sets of rubber. Among the big names entered are Len Duncan, the pre-race favorite, who is the present champion of the American Racing Drivers Club. Midget C5 will be steered by Bill Randall of North Reading, Massachusetts. Randall qualified his racer with a speed of better than 100 miles an hour. The pace lap is underway and 30 midgets stream down the straightaway and get the starter's flag. It's throttles down and away they go in a mad dash as the hotshot speed jockeys scurry for top position. Labeled America's first Junior Indianapolis Classic, the Trenton 250 is the only co-sanctioned racing event in the East this year. Both major racing clubs, the United States Automobile Club and the American Racing Drivers Club, have stamped their approval on this classic. For the early lead, it's Gig Stevens in number 55 and Len Duncan in number 35, who are the fastest. Since its opening in June of 1957, the Trenton Speedway has been the scene for 10 world speed records. The consensus amongst the driving fraternity is that this course is made to order, and the heavy-footed pilots open up the RPMs on the paved bank mile opening. Number 24, Jigs Peters of Bound Brook, New Jersey, has been driving a steady, methodical race. Peters hasn't been punishing his midget, and he's within striking distance of the leaders in 3rd place. There's no place for stragglers in this race, and the slowest are waved to the pits. Mechanical difficulties have also paired the field, and both Gig Stevens and Len Duncan, the early leaders, have been in and out of the pits for lengthy stays. The jig is up. Jigs Peters, that is, in car number 24. Peters has propelled his way into the lead, and he's steadily increasing his advantage with every lap. As Peters heads into the stretch, he motions to his crew that he's coming in for fuel and tires. A bold bid is made by car number 23 to snare the runner-up position from car C5. But Bill Randall in C5 applies a little extra zip to his midget and moves away from his competitor. The leader, Jigs Peters, moves into the pits, and his crew goes right to work. A fresh set of tires and a supply of fuel, and in no time, Peters is back in the race with the lead still his. If Peters stays on top the rest of the way, he can give special thanks to his speedy and excellent pitman. The laps are being whizzed off, and nobody can cut the lead built by number 24, Jigs Peters. Jigs is in his last lap, and he's been skimming his low-slung racer over the pavement at better than 94 miles an hour in the 250-lap race. Here comes Peters, and he gets the checkered flag of victory. Jigs completed the 250 miles in 2 hours and 39 minutes. His reward is the largest purse in midget racing history. And Jigs Peters looks forward to still bigger and better things in the whirling world of auto racing.
Going to Kansas City, here I come. Going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one. I'm gonna be standing on the corner, 12th Street and Bond. I'm gonna be standing on the corner, 12th Street and Bond. Where's my Kansas City baby and a bottle of Kansas City wine? I might take the train, I might take the plane, but if I have to walk, I'm going just the same. Going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one. Ah, but you know, yeah, mustache. Gotta find a brand new baby, that's the reason why. Going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little
Tonight you're mine, completely. jalopy races from Hollywood. And now out of the pits, onto the fastest quarter-mile dirt track in all the world, come some more of those wild jalopy drivers to give you an exciting 8-lap race. We've had an extra qualifier for this particular race, a tie in qualifying times, so we'll have 9 cars instead of the usual 8. So that means just that much more action and excitement. And there he is, the last car to come on out and join them. Now, take a look at the drivers here. See if you're smart enough to pick out the winner of this race, even before it gets underway. A lot of good drivers. Matter of fact, I think all of them out there will be well qualified in this particular race. They're being introduced by Jimmy Sheridan, Ralph Betts in 157, and now Jack Donahue in 128. And over here in the second row, here's Johnny Evans putting on his goggles, getting ready to go. And beside him, in car number 129, is Jim Bourne. And he also will be in contention, you can be sure of that. But back in the next row, here's the redoubtable Scotty Kane, the wild man of the track, the Peck's bad boy of all the jalopy drivers. And when he's there, you can expect trouble and lots of it. Now Bob Simmons in car number 97 is introduced here. And back in the next row, we have Bill Wilkerson in car number 9. And beside him, wait a minute, a little bit of change here. There seems to be a question as to whether it's Bill Wilkerson or not, but it is. And Jimmy Sheridan, our popular starter, leads the applause for him. And this is Don Paul in number 30. And finally, the added starter, Dick Higley in car number 84. Now watch him as Jimmy Sheridan is about to give the signal here to send them on the way. As he's been going through the cars there, he's been checking at the same time to make sure the boys had their safety belts and shoulder straps firmly fastened, their crash helmets on and their goggles and so forth. And he waves them on now, indicating he's all satisfied. If they'll just get in order, he'll start them on this 8-lap race. So there they go, round the turn. A little bit spread out here, but they can bunch up on the back stretch, and we should have a start if they get together in time by the time they come around to that starting line again. And here they are. Closing up very well now, with the pace being set by Ralph Betts. He's on the bubble there in car number 157, the pole position car. They pick up speed. Jimmy Sheridan takes a look at him, tells them to hold those lines, and then gives them that green flag, and we're underway. Into the first lap of this 8-lap race with 9 top drivers in competition. Immediately, Ralph Betts in car number 157 jumps out there in front. Johnny Evans is hard-pressed to hold second place in car number 46, but at least he has it for the moment. But on the inside in car number X comes Scotty Kane working his way in there. Some of the boys had trouble on that first turn, particularly Jack Donahue in car number 128. And Scotty Kane, at the end of the first lap, has moved into second place behind Ralph Betts in car number 157, forcing Johnny Evans back to third place. Well, it's a long way to go here as they finish the second lap, and a lot of things are liable to happen, but keep your eye on those leaders, and particularly on that boy, Scotty Kane, who'll try to move up there and see if he can take that lead away from Ralph Betts. Here he comes, moving up on Betts, who's swinging a little bit too wide in the turn, and it's going to give Kane perhaps the chance he wants to get a wheel inside of Betts and force him out. And that's exactly what he's trying to do in the east turn as again. Betts goes high, and Kane comes inside him. He's up even with him. He's turning in the west turn ahead of him, and at the end of 4 laps, is Scotty Kane in front. Look out, Betts is in trouble there. No, he straightens out and gets back down into the groove in time to hold on to second place ahead of Johnny Evans, who's running third in car number 46. But Scotty Kane is way out in front and rolling well here now as the race is more than halfway over. Taking that west turn at high speed at the end of 5 laps, he's got almost a quarter of a lap lead. And coming along behind him, some of the other drivers try to catch up, particularly Ralph Betts in 157, but it looks like it's going to be tough to do. Matter of fact, Betts has got his hands full here as here comes 46, moving up on him to try to get that second place away from him. And at the end of 6 laps, however, it is still Betts second behind Scotty Kane and Johnny Evans third in car number 46. On the outside, 128, Jack Donahue having a little bit of trouble with Dick Higley. Higley in 84, you know, has come all the way in the race now. And at the end of 7 laps, out goes that blue flag, a signal to the drivers that they're going into the final lap of the race. And Scotty Kane continues to barrel around the track here at the Culver Stadium, way out in front. Watch him now as he comes out of the west turn, rolling easily for the checkered flag, and he should get the victory sign. He does, and the rest of the field comes around behind him also as Scotty Kane wins it. Wait a minute, we're not through here yet. Here come 1, 2, 3 of them, and listening over is Jack Donahue. Jim Bourne crashed into him at 129 there, and that was Bob Simmons in car number 97 who crashed into Jack Donahue and sent him into the wall. Jimmy Sheridan is waving a red flag here to stop these cars. Let's see if anybody's hurt. Climbing out of his car, it looks like Jack Donahue may be all right as winner Scotty Kane goes by. He just tripped, he isn't hurt, and he gets out and takes a look at the car. Matter of fact, he wants to put it back on the wheels all by himself, but I don't quite think he can do that. I think he'll need a little bit of help. In the meantime, in car number 128, And in 129 also, Jim Bourne is all right. Nobody hurt, and Bob Simmons went on in his car. No trouble to it at all. But I think we got some damage to the one car here. Jack Donahue's 128 looks like it might be pretty well bent up there. We'll be checking on that in a moment to see. Donahue, fortunately, is okay. Matter of fact, he's going to climb in there, and maybe he'll drive it away. We don't know. Well, I don't know either. Look at that wheel. Quite a bit the worse for wear. And a pretty sad sight for a race driver to look and see as he waits here for the crash truck to come up on the scene and tow him away, because that apparently is what they're going to have to do. They're signaling the crash truck, the big A-frame wrecker, to come in here, and it's big enough, of course, to just hoist one of these cars right up off the ground and lug it away if it wants to. In the meantime, track director Butch Dale has got his hands full. Look at that crash wall. You get some idea of the impact that these boys run into. No, thank you, says Jack Donahue. I'll just back the car and look at that left rear tire right into the infield and let it sit there. And now let's get the official results which the judges have just now compiled for us. Yes, there it is. The winner, Scotty Kane in X, Ralph Betts second in 157, Johnny Evans third in 46. And Butch Dale finishes up more repairs to the car here. And in the meantime, we're towing away 128. It took quite a beating there, and they finally had to call on the wrecker to get it out of there. I tell you, when these boys hit the wall, a lot of things are liable to happen. But they've cleared up the debris, towed off the wrecked cars, and already out of the pits come a new group of drivers. We'll have 8 cars coming out here in just a moment, and they'll be all set to go in another big 8-lap race. The first one had plenty of excitement and lots of competition out there. And with a group of boys coming out, it looks like this will be a good one, too. That's Bob Clegg, one of the real veterans in car number 5 there. He's been driving since the early days of jalopy racing in Hollywood. Here comes number 88, driven by Don Knoll. He's only driven about 4 years now, but he's been a top driver since the very start of his career as a jalopy racer. To getting them all in position, let's see now just what the lineup is. It'll give you a chance to do some thinking about perhaps the man that you think is going to win this particular race. Well, there it is, a lineup of a lot of top drivers. You should recognize several of those names if you're a real jalopy fan, and surely among them is your favorite. Let's see if you can pick the winner right now. And now let's get on with the introductions here so you can meet all of the boys, including Roger Beck, who got the pole position in car number 89, and Clyde Smith in car number 29 here, being introduced also. Jimmy Sheridan, our popular starter, moving back through the group, comes to Bob Clegg at number 5, and crosses over to Rex Shenley in car number 16. And Rex gets a rather lengthy introduction here because he's always a favorite with the crowd. And here's another favorite. This is Charlie Stoner in car number 17. He is the president of the California Jalopy Association, and he always gets a little bit of kidding on the public address system when he's introduced. Beside him, after we get through the introduction of Charlie Stoner, is Jim Malarkey, driving car number 58, and waving to you out there and letting you know he's all set to go in this big race. And in the back row, here is Don Knoll in car number 88, being introduced, and beside him, car number 62 is driven by Pete Gardanis. All right, Jimmy Sheridan says, let's let him go, as he signals to his assistant, Norm Zahn, up the front. And the boys are moving out now, ready to form into position, and we'll see if we can get this race underway for you with some more action and some more excitement. This, of course, as we said, is the fastest quarter-mile dirt track in the world, and the records set here by all types of racing equipment prove that. The jalopies, of course, have made amazing speeds, particularly when you consider that they drive the whole distance in second gear. That gives them, of course, a little additional braking power when they want to slow up going into a curve. It gives them a faster pickup as they come out of the curve into the backstretch or the straightaway down below us. But that's what they want. And the fans, of course, know there's action coming as they watch now. And out of the west turn, here come our 8 cars bearing down on that starting line. Jimmy Sheridan looks them over. Let's see if he likes it. He does. There goes that green flag. And we're underway into the first lap. Right off the bat, of course, Roger Beck in 89, off the bubble, gets out in front. Wait a minute, we got trouble right off the bat indeed. Right here in the back row, Don Knoll in 88 and Pete Cardenas in number 62. Left wheels, and as you see, put themselves out of the race. But under the rules, whenever there is a spin out in the first lap of a race, the race automatically is ordered restarted. So we wait now and see if Don Knoll and Pete Cardenas, neither of whom was injured and neither of whose cars was damaged, has a chance to catch up and get in place, and we'll be ready to go again. Yes, indeed, Cardenas is pulling up there on the outside in the back row. The field is again complete, and once more, these 8 cars will rush up to that starting line, and we'll see if they can get underway this time and run a full lap without somebody going into the crash wall. Out of the west turn, Jimmy Sheridan again takes a long look at them as they come up in there. He has to be sure they're all even. He likes it, and he gives them that green flag, and they're starting again. And once more, Roger Beck is trying to get out there in the lead in 89, but look at that Bob Clegg in number 5. Almost cut him off at the east turn, and the rest of the field is really moving up rapidly here. Don Knoll is coming up through traffic at the end of the first lap, but Bob Clegg is hanging on to second place. Rick Shenley on the outside almost got third place there, but Charlie Stoner, number 17, hangs on to third position, and so it is. Roger Beck leading, Bob Clegg second at number 5, and Charlie Stoner is now third and 17, with the veteran driver Rick Shenley on the outside trying to hold a position and losing ground. The outside seems to be a little bit slippery, and Don Knoll is up into fourth place now, cutting off Rick Shenley. But Shenley will make a lunge at him as the action at the moment is concentrated in the battle for fourth position. On the outside, Don Knoll goes a little too wide, and Rick Shenley hooks a wheel inside him, comes up even with him as they fight it out here for that fourth position, and neither man gives an inch. And finally, in the turn, with a little shorter distance to travel, Rick Shenley is moving ahead and taking off after Charlie Stoner. But out of the west turn, we've got one boy dragging his heels a little bit. The field is beginning to lap him somewhat. Roger Beck going by, still in first place here in car number 89. Bobby Clegg running second in car number 5. And some distance yet behind Beck as the race continues to roll along here. 5 laps completed, and they're still driving a hard and fast race. Pete Cardenas on the outside now on number 62. He and Charlie Stoner have a little battle for the right-of-way there, and Stoner gets out in front of him. There goes Rick Shenley by him also. A lot of the field getting past him here as they're strung out a little bit now at the end of 6 laps. However, it is still Roger Beck driving one of the finest races of his career because he jumped off in the lead there, got through some rough traffic in the first lap, and has held a big lead ever since on a track that is a little bit slippery today. Charlie Stoner and Rick Shenley hooking up once again in that battle for third place with only a lap to go. That position is a long way from being decided. And wait a minute, Shenley slips a little bit as he goes down the straightaway there. Skidded on the high, soft part of the track. Lost a little ground. That may ensure Charlie Stoner that he can have third place in this race. Because here they come around the west turn, ready to take that checkered flag from Jimmy Sheridan. And it is Roger Beck winning it in car 89. We'll wait a minute and see what the judges say on all of those positions because they really went by us there. Very much a bunched-up group of drivers. And heading for the pits, here is Roger Beck going into the gate. That'll take him out to the pits and a chance to work on that car. Now, here come the official results as the judges have seen it. And it is Roger Beck winning in 89, Bob Clegg second at number 5, Charlie Stoner third in 17.
And now, don't go away, folks. In a moment, we're going to bring you our exciting special feature, the Crackup of the Week. Now, folks, to bring you our Crackup of the Week. Each week, we'll show you pictures of some of the most exciting accidents ever filmed. Pictures that our special cameras have managed to get during these races. And as an added attraction, we'll meet the driver who was actually in the accident. Okay, watch closely now as we take a look at this week's Crackup of the Week.
They were in the last lap of the hooligan. Our cameras caught the crack-up in slow motion. And over it goes. Look at that car. Falling apart at the seams, getting the stuffings knocked right out of it. Let's look at that again. That's a real crack-up of the week. Just nothing left of that car. Here to tell us more about himself is the driver of the car, Don Knoll.
Don, how are you today?
Fine, Bill, thank you.
As exciting as always, isn't it, with the
Yeah,
jalopies?
a lot of fun. That's what we did.
What's the story of how you got started in it?
Well, I had an old car I was trying to sell for $100, and I stopped in the gas station one night. The fellow says, well, why don't you race instead of selling it? So we put a roll bar in it, and I drove it on the street for a few days and come down here and started racing it.
Been at it ever since, huh?
Yeah, it's beat 3 years this August.
Remember how you started, or when you started?
Well, yes, I find it hard to forget the night that I started racing. I won my first race, and also I had a son born that night.
Well,
Don
quite an
Jr.
exciting 24 hours. Don Jr.
Yeah.
I see. How long ago was this now?
Well, it'll be 3 years, August 12th.
You know, I always say that I think you set an altitude record for jalopies around here because you bounced one day over a post that was at least 10 feet in the air, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I've got some pictures to prove it.
Right. What do you do for a living, Don?
I'm a welder. I work out at the Douglas plant in El Segundo, working maintenance.
They build those Navy fighters, don't they, there?
Yeah, we have the world's record plane out there.
You sure do. And incidentally, I think they tell me you're one of the best welders that ever because your roll bars always stand up under anything.
Oh, I sure hope so, as long as I'm driving them.
Right. Well, Don, good luck, and let's hope the welding holds up in the future, too.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
You bet. Don Knoll. So long, Don.
We'll see him again, of course, in future races. And now, let's get back to the races. And now, out onto the culvert track come 16 of our top cars ready to go in a 15-lap hooligan. And you know that means nothing but thrills and excitement from start to finish. Bob Ross in number 6 just came on the track there. And now we'll see more of the drivers lining up here, getting in position for this exciting race. Yes, when you put 16 cars in just a quarter-mile track, you've got something. And here is the starting lineup. Now let's see if you can pick out a winner among all this group of drivers. There should be some real favorites of every one of you racing in this one. And surely among them you can select one that you think is going to be the man that gets the checkered flag at the end of the 15 laps. So study them over carefully, and then let's get ready for action. I think we're going to dispense with introductions here because we're anxious to get this race underway. Jimmy Sheridan has made a quick check on the boys and now double checks to make sure that everybody is in the right position. And I think with that we'll be ready to go in just a moment, and we'll be underway for those 15 laps. Of course, when we have a chance, it might be a good time to explain to you about the flags that Jimmy Sheridan, the starter, will use. The green flag, of course, obviously, is the one that starts the race. And the yellow flag means there is danger on the track, slow down. The cars are required to slow down and at the same time to hold position. They may not pass any car in front of them. And then, of course, the red flag means that the track is impassable because of a crack-up or other reason, and the cars are to be halted immediately. The checkered flag you know very well if you're a racing fan at all. That's a signal to the winning car that he has crossed the line, the winner, and of course it is also a signal to all the other cars that the race is over. The blue flag indicates to the drivers that they're going into the final lap of the race. And then we have a white flag, which is used to indicate to drivers that something is wrong with their car and they must come in off the track. But we're ready now for the green flag as our field of 17 comes up there to the starting line, and they get that green flag, and away we go with Art Atkinson in 43. Starting off in the bubble in front, but look at that Charlie Stoner in car number 17, hanging right on the outside there. Johnny Sherwood is running third in 2:76, and Charlie Stoner may take the lead here at the end of the first lap. He's a half length in front, but I don't know whether he can hold that or not as they head into that east turn. Doesn't look like it as Art Atkinson in 43 comes back at him a little bit, and Charlie was slipping some as he hit the high part of the turn. Now in the backstretch, he guns it again. And again, he's trying to cut off Art Atkinson as Johnny Sherwood hangs on right behind him there to see if he can find a chance to shoot through and grab that first place for himself. But it's a great two-car battle for the lead here as we're in the third lap of the race. Art Atkinson doing a fine driving job, but a great deal of credit goes to Charlie Stoner. It's tough to drive on the outside of this track, and on the west turn he did slip a little bit, and he's lost that first position. He's back even now with Johnny Sherwood in a race for second place, and do you notice how the entire field is staying bunched up here? A great tribute to some of our top drivers that they can stay this close together as we're already several laps into the race. It's Art Atkinson leading at the end of the fourth lap, and Charlie Stoner running second in 17. And Johnny Sherwood is running third in 2:76, and the rest of the field keeps close packed ranks right behind them. Everybody looking for a chance to pass somebody in front of him and move up for a chance to get that checkered flag. But up to now, Art Atkinson still hangs on to the lead as we've completed 5 laps of this 15-lap race. And look at that Charlie Stoner stay right with him in car number 17. Bumper to bumper there. He's actually pushing Atkinson a little bit. And now he goes to the outside once again. Let's see if he's going to try that maneuver of coming around to the outside. That's the tough way to pass on this track. He can't do it. He can't get enough speed. The top part of the track is sometimes a little slippery. The dirt's a little loose up there. The boys don't get the kind of traction they want. And consequently, a car that's down in the groove on the inside of the track has a better chance to stay out in front. And here comes another driver moving up. That is Bob Ross in number 6. Getting up toward the front of the field at the end of 7 laps now. It's still Art Atkinson leading in 43. Charlie Stoner still running second there in car number 17. Charlie, you know, is the president of the California Jalopy Association, the organization of the drivers that drive on this culvert track. At the end of 8 laps, Art Atkinson still leads, and Charlie Stoner still runs second. Now, in moving up is car number 80. Jim Klessig has come up to 4th place from clear back halfway back in the ranks. He's up there and with a chance to take that 3rd position away from Johnny Sherwood, who still holds it in 2:76. And that 2-car battle for first place is still going on here at the end of 9 laps. And Stoner's getting a wheel inside, too far inside. Look out there, heading for the crash wall. Here comes somebody else. That is Jim Malarkey's car flipping over at 47, driven by Ed Southern, crashed into the 2 cars. Something lying in the track here. I guess it's a part of one of the automobiles. Let's see if Malarkey is all right. They've rushed over to help him, and here are 3 other cars. I hope the drivers are all right there. No sign of action from any one of the cars. But here is Malarkey coming out of his, and he is apparently okay. Now, let's check on the other 3 drivers and see if they're all right. Yes, indeed, everybody seems to be okay. They're getting out now to inspect their automobiles and see what has to be done to get them running again. What a pileup of twisted iron that is! Popping up just now is Art Atkinson from his car to take a look and see what's wrong. Ed Southard couldn't stay away from this pileup, and over here the boys are trying to turn this one around so they can get it back on the wheels and get it off the track. They got their hands full to move that one, apparently. It may take the record to get these cars separated here, where we have 3 of them piled up, and one of the wrecking trucks already is on the scene. And just now, Art Atkinson rather gingerly climbs out of his car. Look at the front end of Charlie Stoner's car. That number 17 there. You get some idea of the impact of when they piled into each other. Meantime, Johnny Sherwood now, of course, automatically goes into first place as the cars are being realigned for a resumption of the race. Bob Ross in number 6, and there is Rex Shenley in 16, now in 4th place. He's come all the way from the very back row of cars. To give you some idea of the fine driving job he's done. Well, heave ho, men. Let's see if we can get this on its wheel and get it out of here, because we want to get this race underway once again. Up we go, and hold it now. Take it easy. They practically have it balanced there. Matter of fact, they've got it balanced on the crash wall. That's the problem. Now, they didn't quite judge their distance correctly. Here's Charlie Stoner's car being taken off the track. In the background, that's Art Atkinson's 43. Look at that left front tire. No wonder it costs money to be a jalopy driver. That one, I don't think we'll try to recap that for any further use here. Meanwhile, the rest of the drivers impatiently await the signal that they can resume once again. We've got Jim Malarkey's 108 straightened out in the background, and we're getting rid of Art Atkinson's 43. It seems to have had quite a bit of trouble, too. Then, once more, if we can get Ed Southard's 47 out there, we'll be all right, too. Say, speaking of tires, how do you like the looks of that one? A rough day at the races, believe me. It takes a push for Rex Shenley's number 16 to get it started. Bob Ross has moved off in his 3rd place position. Jim Klessig is 2nd in car number 80, and the fans wait to see what's going to happen next in this race. This is one of those hooligans where practically anything goes, it usually does. And so as they go down the backstretch, Johnny Sherwood holds the lead in 2:76. He was running 3rd at the time of the Crackup, so being the only car left of the front runner still able to go, he automatically gets first position. Up they come for that green flag, the signal from Jimmy Sheridan that they are resuming the race. And it's Jim Klessig 2nd in number 80, Bob Ross 3rd in number 6, Rex Shenley 4th in 16. Now let's see what these 4 cars are going to do. Maybe somebody's going to try to go to the outside here. A little bump there by Jim Klessig, but Johnny Sherwood continues to hold the lead of the car. Look out, I thought it was getting out of control there for a moment. Bob Ross is going to try to do it the hard way, going around on the outside. He pulls up even with Klessig. He's taking off after Sherwood, who's being bumped by Klessig. He's up even with Sherwood. Look at this boy Ross drive that number 6 on the outside. And at the end of 11 laps, he's almost ready to take the lead here in this 15-lap race. In the meantime, Rex Shenley, number 16, is trying to go on the outside. Sherwood is fishtailing. His car's in trouble. And on the inside of him goes Jim Klessig in car number 80. And on the outside is Rex Shenley, both going by Sherwood here. Chasing after Bob Ross, who is now clearly out in front in this race as they go into the 13th lap. And Shenley guns it in that east turn. And he does take 2nd place and starts out now after Bob Ross to see if he can catch up with him. Jim Klessig is running 3rd, and Johnny Sherwood is losing a lot of ground, falling back here as we finish 13 laps. Here's Sherwood still fighting, controlling that car, but not too well as a result of the bumping around he got from Jim Klessig when they were going bumper to bumper, turn after turn around this track. Out of the west turn at the end of 14 laps and ready to take that blue flag, it is Bob Ross in car number 6. He's really driving now, went around on the outside and took the lead, and look out, Jimmy Sheridan. Nobody wants to get too close to that track when the jalopy drivers are going by, particularly when it's one of these hooligan races such as you've just seen. Now watch them as they come out of the west turn into the straightaway, and the checkered flag goes to Bob Ross. He wins the race in that car number 6. We'll check with the judges for the official results for you. In the meantime, the cars are beginning to head for the pits. And I think, however, Ross wants to take another lap around. In these longer races, the boys like to run an extra lap, then there's no question about whether they actually completed the required 15 laps. Standing by for official results, and here they are. Bob Ross wins in car number 6. Rex Shenley 2nd in number 16. Jim Klessig 3rd in car number 80. There go the cars off the track, heading for the pits and for any necessary mechanical repairs. They're clearing the track as the race has come to an end.